Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Robin if this is your first time here, and today I want to talk about why you should go vegan in 2018. So I went vegan about 3 years ago. It was in January of 2015, I guess. And let me tell you, it was one of the best decisions I have ever made. And at the time, I didn't even think that it would become like my lifestyle. I just thought it would be like a temporary thing, like, oh yeah, let me just try like a vegan diet. So I'm going to talk about why I decided to go vegan, how that happened, how I transitioned, and why I'm still vegan 3 years later. So at first, to be honest, I don't exactly remember like what in my mind made me decide like, hey, I want to go vegan, because I was basically living off of like chicken nuggets and pizza at the time. Like I was a junior in high school, and I was like actually a really picky eater, and I actually always used to say that I didn't like cooked vegetables. I would only eat like raw carrots and raw broccoli like dipped in ranch, that kind of thing. But then all of a sudden I was just like, hey, I'm gonna go vegan, even though I like didn't like vegetables, and my diet consisted of like cereal for breakfast and like pizza and chicken nuggets. So that was kind of crazy. But how I started actually was that I started out being vegan until dinner time, so until maybe like 5 p.m. or something. So I would be vegan for breakfast and lunch, and then for dinner I told myself I can eat whatever I want, and that's how I started. And my goal was always to work up to being like vegan all day. But I never knew that I was going to stay vegan for as long as I have, and now I think I'm going to be vegan for my whole life probably. That's the plan. But yeah, at the time I was like, well, I'm going to work up to being vegan all day, so I'm going to start with breakfast and lunch. So I would have like smoothies for breakfast, and for lunch I would have like sandwiches with like hummus and veggies, or I would have like veggies dipped in hummus, or I would have like some kind of soup or a salad, something like that. Yeah, and for snacks I would have like chips and guac, or fruits, or I don't know what else I would have. Pretzels, just kind of like normal things that I was already eating sometimes, but I just kind of got rid of all the meat and cheese and everything in breakfast and lunch and replaced those with more like vegetables and fruits. So my parents were actually really happy about that, because I was eating a lot healthier, and I was becoming more adventurous, and not being such a picky eater, so they liked that. Yeah, and then so it only took maybe like a week or two until I was like, hey, this isn't actually so hard. Like, let me try, instead of just doing breakfast and lunch, let's do all day. Let's try it out. So I did that. And of course there were a couple times when I didn't realize something wasn't vegan, and then I realized later, or I like accidentally just forgot and ate something that wasn't vegan. But for the most part, like within maybe a month of when I had originally decided that I was going to start eating vegan, I was eating completely vegan. And ever since then, I've been loving it. It was definitely hard at first, because I would have to read all of the ingredients, and I would have to figure out like what was vegan, what wasn't vegan. It was kind of a struggle to come up with meal ideas, because that's not how I was used to eating at the time. But now that I've been vegan for 3 years, let me tell you, it's so easy, because it's just my routine. Like at this point, I wouldn't even think of like, oh, what could I have for dinner instead of chicken? Like, I just wouldn't even think of having chicken for dinner, because that's just not what I do anymore. Like, I haven't done that for a long time, and that's just, it's not something that really enters my mind anymore. But yeah, so I would say if you're even considering it a little bit, like if you're even considering going vegan, just go for it 100%. And I think that the way I did it was really great with doing just breakfast and lunch at first and then working your way up to all day. Or you could do like every other day, but I would say kind of wean yourself into it, because that's a big deal to just jump straight from like the standard American diet into like I'm vegan, you know what I mean? So definitely like do it one step at a time. Don't stress about it if you make mistakes, because everyone does and it's not a big deal. And yeah, just go for it, because let me tell you, you will not regret it, and your body will feel better, you'll feel better mentally, you're gonna like learn so much, and you're gonna try so many different new foods, and you'll be so happy you did. Trust me on this one. But anyway, that's all I really have to say for today. I hope that was helpful, and please, like, if you need help with it, if you have questions about being vegan, anything like that, totally like leave a comment, ask me a question, hit me up on Instagram. Yeah, and so leave me a comment, subscribe, like this video, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.